In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Cara Dune for the Black Series 6-inch line, and this is the Credit Collection variant of her, and the very first Credit Collection action figure I'm reviewing on the channel. So I've been scoping out a Black Series Cara Dune for a number of years now. Unfortunately, I never saw her at retail back in the day. I may have saw her once, but it was one of those things where I looked at it and was like, oh, that's a great action figure. Perhaps I'll get that down the road. But that did not come to be because, of course, Gina Carano got let go from Lucasfilm, and then the prices for her action figure went up tremendously after that, sometimes even in the $100 range. The Credit Collection one was always a little bit cheaper, though. So that was the one that I've been scoping out the most, and quite frankly, she looks pretty good, even with the alternative colors here. I just wish there was no red in the hair there, but that's all right. And so recently, I was checking up on eBay, and it seems like the prices for her have cooled off a little bit. The standard release in her traditional look seems to be like in the $50 range, which is still kind of expensive for a Black Series figure. And then the Credit Collection ones seem to be in the $20 to $30 range, which is what I paid for this. I only paid about $24, which I thought was a pretty fair deal. Not too much more than a standard Black Series action figure from the time. I'm glad to finally add her to the collection. On a side note as well, I have seen Gina Carano in person. I didn't meet her personally, but one of the conventions I was at where I ended up meeting Tamora Morrison, Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor, and Ming-Na Wen, and Daniel Logan and Anthony Daniels as well. She was also there at the time, and I happened to see her from a distance. But I wouldn't mind meeting her down the road. So we have the more traditional TBC style card back here. Star Wars The Mandalorian, Cara Dune, image of her there, the more comic look. Only real difference between the Credit Collection action figures, which every single one was repaints of their original counterparts. The only difference is the repaint and then the addition of the credit here, which looks like has the Imperial logo and then maybe a number on it. It's like 706 or so in Roman numeral. We have an image on the back here, which I'm not exactly sure what this is simulating. It's like lightning's being shot out of her belt or something. Red lightning. Perhaps that's in a comic I haven't read. But this distinctive collection features premium deco applications inspired by the end credit images of The Mandalorian, plus a collectible Imperial credit accessory. After the fall of the Galactic Empire, usage of their form of money, Imperial credits became less common, with many planets refusing payment in the currency on principle. Pretty interesting description. So I'm going to go ahead and open her up off screen here, and then we'll be back in a moment. So I am glad to finally add a Black Series Cara Dune to the collection. She's a very nice action figure. She does have few pluses that the TBC action figure doesn't have, mainly the knife in her boot there, which I'll show off here in a little bit. And I have to admit, I do like this alternative look for her. Besides the highlights in the hair here, I wish she did have the natural hair color. Looks like she has a little bit of green on the strands on this side here. But I do like the green variant for her armor here. Of course, I do like the blue look as well, but it's just nice to have some of the alternative looks. In fact, I've thought about getting the Credit Collection Moff Gideon instead of the original at some point, because I do like the alternative look they has with the blue instead of the red and the black. Just something a little bit different, something to spice up the collection a little bit. But yeah, let's just take a closer look at her. So for the head sculpt, I think that turned out perfect. It's a very nice likeness to Gina Carano. You can see the tattoo under her eye there. Photoreal and the face printing tech turned out nicely. Hair looks good. It's draped off to the side here. It's interesting that the back of her hair here has the natural color. See the back of her armor here. She does have the stripes on her arm there. Signify that she was a rebel shock trooper, I think. And I do like this rust color that she has on her armor as well. Gives it a worn out look. Some weathering. Have her belt here. The holster and the pistol. The rest of her armor. Knee armor right there. Knife. Then her boots. Which have a little bit of different color at the ends there. And the articulation is pretty standard for Black Series at the time. The ball joint, the head, although she is a little restricted with the collar here. I think this is supposed to be part of her armor, keep from someone from choking her. But still has a pretty good range of motion. And the hinge at the shoulders. The shoulder armor here doesn't have a whole lot of flex to it, but it's not too restrictive. Still have a good range there. The hinge at the elbow, which go a little past 90, I think. The hinge rest here. This one goes up and down instead. The joint at the midsection there. Not quite her waist. Then the barbell hips there. And the swivel thigh. Then the double hinge at the knee. Still before those were phased out. Then the rocker ankles. The hinge there as well. For accessories, she has her signature rifle here, which is a little bit different from her TBC scaled one, and that's mainly with the strap here. You can pretty much take this off if you wanted to, which I like. It gives a alternative look, and sometimes this does get in the way, and it's kind of hard to pose to be in a natural position. Let's have this instead. It does fit well in her hand. We have her pistol. Oops. Yeah, right here. She does fit well in her hand as well. And then, as I mentioned, she does have the knife accessory as well, which has a little bit of a slit on the side of her boot to be able to fit that. And it looks like it fit best in her left hand. That's very nice. I wish the TPC action figure had that option. I can understand why they didn't because of the smaller scale. Definitely a lot of posing potential with that. And the pistol does fit well inside of her holster. The buckle over it. Looks like the knife kind of has to fit in one way. I'm probably going to leave that out in her hand because I don't want that to potentially freeze in there over time, then potentially break off. Let's do something like this. Kind of get that to work in her in a crouching position there. See comparison with her TVC figures. All very nice. But last but not least is the actual credit here, which not a whole lot to tell. It's just an extra accessory. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's a Roman numeral 6, so maybe 706 or 7006. Ah. Hopefully she stays. Might be able to use this for like a diorama piece. We'll see. But I think that's all I can really tell you about Cara Dune here. I definitely recommend it for your collection if you're a big fan of the character or a big fan of the Mandalorian. Speaking of the Mandalorian, I do have a few other action figures to bring out here. Mandalorian himself. And one more I haven't really showed off on the channel in a while. Fennec Shand there. All three of them look great together. Glad to finally add her. I have to get Bo-Katan and Koshka Reeves out at some point as well and see how she looks with all of them. Very nice action figures, every single one of these. But yeah, like I said, definitely would recommend it for your collection, especially if you're a big fan of the Mandalorian. I'm sure there's a lot of people that get her as well because they're fans of Gina Carano. I know her mostly from Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. I would recommend checking out those cutscenes if you never have. Some of her more earlier roles and probably some of the best parts of that game. But great action figure of her. Happy to have the Black Series action figure. It's been a long time in the making. Finally found a good deal for her. And yeah, just had nothing but great things to say about her. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for playing more in the future. There's always more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support, and check out the links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.